Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what in the crackhead shenanigans is going on in Pennsylvania, but I'm going to tell you guys. A lot of you guys know how I feel about mental illness. I personally believe, and I know it's going to offend some people, so I apologize in advance, but I feel like for us to so blindly give people the excuse of saying, we understand why they hurt children because they had mental issues. People do crazy things because they have mental issues. And for me, I have taken a stance to say that mental illness will no longer be an excuse to hurt children. Let me be a little more clear. Mental illness will no longer be an excuse to hurt children. Is that okay with y'all? Because it's okay with me. So I hope it's okay with y'all. We are no longer going to give anybody, including Crescenda Bright, the individual that y'all see on my screen, old ugly face right there, that will no longer be an excuse to hurt our children. This story comes out of Pennsylvania, and police in Pennsylvania found that mother that y'all saw right there standing on the porch right there with dried blood on her hands and clothes after she allegedly shot dead her own daughter, who was 16 years old, and her son. And I'm going to tell you guys, as far as her son, I feel a little bit odd saying this, so I'm not sure how this is going to sit well with people. In this article, they refer to her son as a transgender. I think her son is 14 years old. Now, I know this is going to be sensitive, so y'all hear me out just for a moment. Her daughter and her son. I don't know which one is which age. Let me see. Yeah. So Jasmine is 22. Jasmine Kennedy is 22 years old. Jeffrey Bright is 16 years old. So apparently they had two different fathers because they have two different last names. So the one on the right, who is Jeffrey Bright, they're saying that's the transgender. But let me tell you guys this. That's just a boy that wants to be a girl and might feel a bit feminine. And that's okay. That's his choice. I have no problem how people want to live their life. But I'm going to tell you guys, there is a difference between wanting to associate yourself as a woman compared to you having gender, what do they call that? Genitalia reassignment. And I can almost guarantee you that child did not have any gender reassignment surgery. It's lying. Transgender means to transition. Trans means to move. If you do not move from one thing to the next, then you did not transition. You did not transgender. Does that make sense? Am I pissing somebody off right now? There's a reason that I'm bringing that up, because I'm telling you that this mom did this probably with a clear conscience because she was probably mad at her son, okay? That individual that y'all see right there with that crunched up face, like her face looks like a balled up piece of paper. Her name is Crescenda Bright. I think her name is Crescenda Ann Bright, to give her full name. She is 48 years old. Why she looked like somebody's great grandmother. And she called the police to her house on Maplewood Avenue in Ann Bright at 1:30 p.m. on Monday and met them outside. When police arrived, they observed her gory clothes because she had blood and all kind of crap on her. And they asked if she was bleeding. The mother replied that the blood came from her own two children. Interim Police Chief John DeLuca said officers found a gruesome scene inside Bright's two-story brick home. And I want to warn you guys, if you're listening to my video, the details are going to get really bad. So if you need to exit the video, then I understand. This might be the time to exit. For everybody else who wants to hear the details, because nothing is more difficult with us listening to it compared to what these kids actually had to live through. All we got to do is hear their story. I don't think that's quite so bad. Nonetheless, her children, born Kiara Bright, 16 years old, who was transitioning from female to male and went by the name Jeffrey, and Jasmine Kennedy, 22 years old, were shot in the head and face, the Beaver County coroner said. Now, the reason why I brought up what I said earlier about the whole transgender thing is, why would we even need to know that? Why would we need to know that the children that she murdered, which were her own children, one of them was transgender? Why would you even need to tell us that? Why should it even matter? You gave birth to a human being. You murdered that human being. We should treat you as such and put you in prison for life. If not, give you the ultimate penalty under law. Everybody understand? I'm just saying, if you're going to mention something, at least be right about what you're talking about. And what they're talking about, this whole transgender stuff, is not accurate. She had a child that was 16 years old, and she murdered that child. She had another child that was 22 years old, murdered that child, and they were shot in the head and in the face. What the hell is wrong with this woman? Why was she even, I'm curious to know what her reason was for doing this. The mother was taken to the county jail with no incident and was charged with 2 counts of homicide. During the police interview, Bright allegedly admitted to the killings. She told him exactly what she did, telling detectives that she shot her daughter while she was lying in the bed in an upstairs bedroom. Boy, that is just another level of evil. You laying down sleep and you shoot him in the head. She went downstairs and pointed the gun at her son, and they're still saying her son. I thought she would have, never mind. Anyway, she went downstairs and pointed the gun at her other kid, who she said begged her, "Mom, please don't shoot. I'm going to call the police," according to the complaint. So this child begged for its life. And the mom had no regard for human life, for anything, and shot this kid in the face. The mother pulled the trigger initially, but the gun didn't fire. So the mom definitely should face the ultimate penalty under law. If they have the death penalty in Pennsylvania, she should definitely face it, because she thought about this. The gun jammed, the mom fixed the gun jam, and then shot the kid in the face. No excuse for that. Now, according to a criminal complaint, Bright said that the teen was still moving and was not dead. So guess what the mom did? The mom took her went over to the kid, because the kid was still moving and was not dead. She shot him in the face again because she said that she didn't want the kid to suffer. Wow. Crime scene investigators found Kennedy in an upstairs bedroom and her brother in the basement. Both siblings had been shot in the head and the face. The motive for the shootings was unclear. As far as I saw, she was always good to her kids. Her kids were always happy, according to a neighbor by the name of Sam Bruno. I just feel really bad for her. I feel worse for her kids for what happened. Now, I know you heard what the neighbor said. We will address what he said, because he actually said it in a video, so I'll address it then. Jeffrey Bright, who went by the name JJ, was a student at Ambridge High School. District officials posted a statement offering condolences and providing assistance to students, parents, and teachers. Trans Family of NWPA, a supporting group serving the transgender community of Northwest Pennsylvania, on Tuesday posted a status update on Facebook mourning the boy's death. JJ was a beautiful person with the biggest and brightest smile. We will miss your laugh. We will miss your jokes. You will never be forgotten. We'll get into all that other stuff in a minute. Let me give you guys the fair usage, because I know there's a lot to talk about. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Okay, here's the video. And if you guys are watching right now, if you would, help bring more people to watch this live stream and click that thumbs up. Our goal tonight is about 400 to 600 thumbs up. The closer we can get there, it'll bring more people in, okay? Thank you. Let's watch the news videos.
Shock has turned to sadness in Ambridge today, 24 hours after police say that a mother killed 2 of her children. We first brought you the story as breaking news yesterday at 4.
And today, Royce Jones has learned new details in this investigation. Royce.
Kim, good evening. Monday, police described this scene as gruesome, and today, yellow crime scene tape and a temporary memorial on this front porch mark the tragedy that happened inside of this home. The woman on your screen, Crescinda Bright, is behind bars on criminal homicide charges for shooting and killing her 22-year-old daughter, Jasmine Bright, and 16-year-old son, Jeffrey Bright. According to investigators, Bright admitted to shooting one of her children in the bedroom, then walking downstairs and shooting the second one. All of this unfolding around 1:30 p.m. Monday. Police say the mother is the one who called 911 and told dispatch where she left the gun. Police also say the mother is the one who... Police also say crime scene investigators found both of the children dead when they arrived on scene, one in the bedroom, the other in the basement. And while the crime has disturbed everyone in this community, those who knew the mother say it's just unbelievable.
Chris is not a murderer. She did take her kids' lives, but something had to happen for her to do that. That's not her.
I'm going to rewind this and let y'all hear this again. Listen, this is the neighbor's interview, and I want you guys to hear exactly what he said. And again, if you guys are watching, we just started, so you haven't missed anything yet. Listen to what the neighbor says. I don't know if any of y'all caught that. Let me play it again.
Is not a murderer. She did take her kids' lives, but something had to happen for her to do that. That's not her.
Disturbed everyone in this community. Those who knew the mother say it's just unbelievable.
Chris is not a murderer. She did take her kids' lives, but something had to happen for her to do that. That's not her.
And this is part of what I'm talking about. I don't know if a lot of people watch news clips the way that I watch them, because I pay attention to what people say. This man said that this is not her. She's not a murderer, even though she murdered her kids. That's not like her, and something had to have happened to make her do this. Does anybody out there in the chat right now understand what he actually is saying by saying that? I'll give you guys about 10 seconds if you want to type it in and tell us what you believe what he's actually saying. Because that is by far, I know he think what he said was good, but it was actually by far one of the dumbest things. And we've heard a lot of dumb interviews, but that was real dumb. That was real dumb. Thank you. Church Lady Reed Show got it. What he's saying is that the kids caused their own death. I know somebody out there has been listening to me for a long time. Thank you very much, Church Lady Reed Show. He blamed the children. She's not a murderer. That's not who she is. Something had to have happened to cause her to do this. There was nobody else around, only the kids. So who would have caused this to happen? You're blaming the kids. Let's listen again. Okay, you said rewind it. Let's listen again. I'll be more than happy to let y'all hear it again. I'm going to be quiet.
Arrived on scene, one in the bedroom, the other in the basement. And while the crime has disturbed everyone in this community, those who knew the mother say it's just
Listen again.
unbelievable.
Chris is not a murderer. She did take her kids' lives.
Who knew the mother
Is not a murderer. She did take her kids' lives.
unbelievable.
Chris is not a murderer. She did take her kids' lives.
Unbelievable.
Chris is not a murderer. She did take her kids' lives.
Sam is not a murderer, but he did take somebody's life. Sam is not a rapist, but he did rape that woman. Sam is not a criminal, but he did kick in that person's door and rob them. Sam is a good person, but he went into church and shot up everybody. Sam is a good person. Yeah, everybody understand where I'm coming from? Do I need to keep giving more examples? Sam is a good father, but Sam took his child and threw his child out of the window. Sam is a good husband, but he beats up his wife every day. That's called an oxymoron. If I'm wrong about that definition, which I could be, y'all know I'm not the brightest crayon in the box, but let me know if I'm not right about that, but I think I'm right. That's called an oxymoron. He is a moron, by the way. She's not a murderer, but she committed murder. And I thought about this as it was playing the very first time I saw it. That was the first thing popped in my head, and I just wanted to point that out to you guys. When I watch videos, I just hear stuff. Listen again.
Unbelievable.
Chris is not a murderer. She did take her kids' lives, but something had to happen for her to do that. That's not her. Is not a murderer. She did take her kids' lives, but something had to happen for her to do that. That's not her.
And I know people might be wondering, why is DJ rewinding? Okay, we heard it. Why am I rewinding it? It's because of this. It's because most people didn't catch this the first time around, and because of the fact that you have to ask yourself, why is this man defending this woman? Why is he defending her so hard? Does he know more than what we actually think he does? Was he complicit in the problems that there were going on in that house? Huh? Because I don't understand how somebody can admit to murder, commit murder, be arrested for murder, and you come out and say, no, she didn't do it. That's not who she is. Why would you defend her character when even she said that she did it? Makes you wonder. Could be his side chick. Who knows? Maybe he needs to be investigated. Who knows?
And the people who knew those two victims say their lives were both beautiful and bright. Coming up, live at 5 o'clock, hear how people who loved those two want you to remember them. Reporting in live in Amber.
Yeah, well, if people are still having heavy hearts over what has happened in that double homicide here in Ambridge yesterday, and right now people are gathered at T.J. Call Memorial Park in the heart of Ambridge, where they're about to start their vigil that is scheduled to begin exactly now. You have a few dozen people here who are here to remember the two victims who were slain.
Friends and community members prepare for a vigil to remember and honor the lives of 22-year-old Jasmine Kennedy and 16-year-old Jeffrey Bright. Police say their mother, Crescenda Ann Bright, shot one child who was laying in bed. The other was shot while trying to persuade Bright to put down the weapon. A neighbor believes Bright was trying to cope with mental struggles.
A couple months ago, so she was gone for a couple of days. Asked her where she was, and she said that she had committed herself into psychiatric help.
She told you that?
Yes. We were friendly. We talked.
It is a tragic double murder that has stunned residents on Maplewood Avenue and Ambridge at large. Neighbor Sam Bruno is especially shaken.
I was crushed. I'm devastated still. Chris was a good lady. Her kids were good kids. She just had issues.
Y'all heard that? Let's rewind it. He's going and defending her again.
Bruno is especially shaken.
I was crushed. I'm devastated still. Chris was a good lady. Her kids were good kids. She just had issues.
She just had issues. Okay. Yeah, he needs to stop giving interviews because I think it might be time to investigate Sam Bruno because I think that man knows something.
A mother is now charged with shooting and killing her 2 daughters. The murders happened this afternoon in Ambridge. The woman turned herself in and was charged late tonight. Jennifer Barrasso is live with the new information from the DA. Jennifer.
That's right, Ken. Well, the Beaver County DA confirms that Crescinda Bright is charged with 2 counts of criminal homicide, accused of killing 2 of her children, 2 daughters. And according to the criminal complaint, Bright reported those crimes after calling 911. The big question is, why?
Gruesome scene.
Crescinda Bright of Ambridge is charged with 2 counts of criminal homicide. The 48-year-old woman is accused of shooting to death 2 of her children, 2 daughters inside their home, 908 Maplewood Avenue, Ambridge, Beaver County. KDKA has confirmed Crescinda Bright of Ambridge is charged with 2 counts of criminal homicide. The 48-year-old woman is accused of shooting to death 2 of her children, 2 daughters inside their home, 908 Maplewood Avenue, Ambridge, Beaver County. According to the criminal complaint, after the shootings, Bright called 911 to report the crimes. When police arrived, they say she allowed them into her home, and they found the bodies in different rooms of the house.
When the officers arrived on scene, they found 2 deceased individuals inside the residence. And at that point, we also made contact and took an adult female into custody for the shooting.
Police shut down the block as they collected evidence. Rachel Cruz had to get a police escort when she tried to drop off her son's friend, who lives nearby.
I'm a little nervous. My mom lives right on Church Street, right up a few blocks from here, so I'd like to make sure she's okay.
Hours later, police took Bright from the police station to the Beaver County Jail, where she will be formally charged. Meantime, police are still trying to track down family members of the victims.
No, we're not going to identify the victims in any way until we have confirmation from the coroner.
Well, they've already identified them. Let's go ahead and go to our last video, and then I'll tell you guys my closing thoughts. We still got a couple more stories to tell right after this one.
All right, Ron, thank you. We want to get to this breaking news, a tragic story, and new details coming in following that deadly shooting in Ambridge. A mother is now charged with killing her 2 children, and while you were sleeping, the names of those victims were released. Amy Wattis joins us live from outside the Ambridge Borough Police Station with the tragic details. Amy?
Heather, we are learning the 2 people killed in this shooting were siblings. Now, the Beaver County coroner released their names overnight, and they are 16-year-old Kiara Bright and 22-year-old Jasmine Kennedy. They were both shot in the head, and the coroner ruled their deaths a homicide. News Chopper 2 flew high above the crime scene yesterday. Now, this is the 900 block of Maplewood Avenue in Ambridge, and that's where police found the siblings inside the home. Their bodies were in separate rooms of the house. The Ambridge police chief called it a gruesome scene. The suspect, investigators say, their mother. The Beaver County District Attorney says she's 48-year-old Crescinda Bright. Police say Bright called 911 after she allegedly shot her children to report what she did. She let detectives into the home, and that's when they say they found the bodies.
When the officers arrived on scene, they found two deceased individuals inside the residence. And at that point, we also made contact and took an adult female into custody for the shooting.
The superintendent of Ambridge Area School District released a statement mentioning that one of the victims was a student at Ambridge Area High School. He said in part, quote, "The Ambridge Area School District has a crisis intervention team made up of professionals trained to help with the needs of students, parents, and school personnel at difficult times such as this." Now, he went on to say counselors are available if students or parents need someone to talk to. Crescinda Bright is facing 2 counts of criminal homicide. She is currently in the Beaver County Jail. As far as a motive, we don't know yet what that is. We're waiting on more information, and hopefully a criminal complaint will be released later this morning. Reporting live in Ambridge, Amy Wattis, KDKA News.
All right, let me give you guys my closing thoughts about this particular story. First and foremost, let me say this. Hashtag see something, say something. If you know something, it is imperative that you guys say something, because these children, well, these children are quite a bit older than the ones we normally talk about, but I don't really know how they're supposed to be able to defend themselves if their mother went and got a gun and shot them in their sleep. That just really sucks on so many levels. So I want everybody to understand that I feel so bad for those young souls being 16 and 22 years old. That's just so ridiculous. But let me also say this. Where is the biological father of these kids? If this mother, I would love to know the reason why she did this. With one being 22 years old, I'm not exactly sure why that 22-year-old was at that house sleeping. Maybe, look, I understand what it's like to be in your late teens, early 20s. You're still trying to work in life, and then COVID hits, and then, so finding a job, keeping a job, all of that kind of stuff, it takes a little bit. It takes a little bit of living to try to get yourself together. So maybe at 22 years old, she didn't have herself together. I totally understand that if that was the reason why she was living at home. But at 22, I'm hoping that by that point, you might be closer to on your way to being independent at that point, okay? Still no excuse, though. And by the way, talking about no excuses, mental illness is no excuse to commit murder on any level. Because if your mental illness is that bad, then you should not be a parent. And I've always said this, and I'm going to stand on this, and y'all are going to find out as time goes, Jay was right. Mental illness cannot be an excuse to commit murder and abuse. Because if that's the case, if it's so bad and you're so mentally distraught and so mentally messed up, then you should not have any children, any human beings, nobody in your possession. You should live by yourself. You should live alone. You should go get help. That's the way I feel about it. You for damn sure shouldn't be a parent if you so-called have these mental issues. Okay? I want everybody to understand that we are going to take a stand here at the AFC, and we are not going to continue to allow society to say, well, this is the reason why this happened. It's no longer going to be an excuse. People should no longer get lighter sentences just because they have mental issues. Okay? We have to start taking a stand and protecting our children, especially for those who are defenseless, those who cannot speak for themselves, and those who are under the tyranny of their caretakers. I want this mother to get prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. If this were a man, if this were a father, he would not get any excuses at all. Since we're equal in America, since we're equal in this society, then I think that we should also hold mothers responsible, because I think mothers are awesome. Mothers are strong. Mothers are amazing people that create life. And just as well as amazing as they are, heavy is the crown that is on the head of the king and queen, and it comes with a lot of responsibility to be a parent. And if that's the case, then I think they should be held just as equally responsible. Just as well as you're willing to get the rewards and reap the benefits, then you should be held responsible for all of the consequences. I hope I made myself very clear. I'm DJ Just Jay. We're the AFC, where we advocate for children first. I want to say RIP to the souls that were lost. Jasmine and Jeffrey Bright, young souls, RIP. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. Thank you. For those who are listening, we still have a couple more stories. What I'm doing is I will upload these at a later point so you can watch them in a little bit of a shorter form, so you don't have to watch a whole 2-hour live stream in order to figure out, okay, what happened with these particular stories. So I will upload those later. We have 3 more stories to tell, and I want you guys to notice something. Has anybody in the chat, anybody who's watching right now, y'all can type it in and let me know. I'm watching the chat right now. Have any of y'all noticed that almost every live stream I do, we're having to do 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 stories per stream? And I still can't keep up. 2 to 3 to 4 and sometimes 5 stories a night, and I still can't keep up with all the stuff that's going on. Isn't that something? I don't think I have any videos of him. Let me make sure I got the right pictures up here. Okay, yes I do. All right. This particular story is going to be short, and then I'm going to take a little more time on our next couple of stories. If you guys do not mind, let me shout out a couple of people real quick, because people, even at this very moment, are still donating, and I want to shout them out while they can hear me. Lynn Eversley, if you're listening, I got both of your PayPal donations, and I wanted to say thank you very much. Lynn is very sweet and always showing support in a monetary form, so thank you. Let me also say thank you to Deborah Felker. If you are listening, I think I saw your name in the chat there somewhere. Said thank you for all that you do for the ones without a voice. And she took on the $25 challenge by way of the PayPal. And for that, I must say thank you so much for finding it in your heart and in your budget. I also need to say thank you to my friend and a very awesome and amazing supporter. And I just cannot thank you enough. I mean, look, there she is right there. Leanne Engel said, I seen your racing videos. Awesome. Just be safe, because babies need you. I will be safe. I know it's not the smartest thing in the world. My daddy gets on to me all the time. I love my father. Shout out to my dad. But I really enjoy what I do. I really do. I love my motorcycle and I love to race. I got addicted to it. So I would do my best to try to be safe. But let me say thank you, Leanne, if you are listening. Every donation has just been so amazing, and I just cannot thank you enough. So Leanne, if you're listening, from my heart to yours, I am truly, truly honored. I will keep the amount that you're donating private, because like I say, I don't want people getting caught up, once they send a certain amount, and I want to just say thank you so much if you're listening. Okay? Let me also say thank you. I just closed out Cash App. Hold on just a second. Y'all bear with me just a moment. Please bear with me, because we're doing this live, and this is the only time I get a chance to shout the people out individually while we're live, okay? Said I ride, I love it. Shout out to D. Walsh. If anybody loves motorcycles, man, shout out to y'all. Let me say thank you to Kimberly. Kimberly, if you are listening, said thank you for your deep concern for the kids. Kimberly took on the $20 challenge by way of the Cash App. So Kimberly, if you are listening, I want to say thank you very much. This one, I know who this is. This is my friend over there. I think this is Illicit Deeds. You know what it is, with the heart emoji. Thank you so much by way of the Cash App. And I hope you're still in there. Illicit Deeds, if you're in there, I wanted to shout you out. I don't see you in there, but I did get it. I will make sure and put, whenever y'all send a Cash App, I always put the prayer hand emoji. I want y'all to know I do that on purpose, because it's like I wish it would be at the top, but I have to scroll all the way down to find my brown prayer hand emoji, because I like it so much, and I want y'all to know that I'm truly blessed and truly, truly appreciate y'all's support. Let me also say thank you again to Not Your Average Social Worker, Kinshasa, Pretty, Poo Poo, Jimmy D, Mashika, and Elizabeth. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Also, thank you, Lorna, over in PayPal, if you're listening. The individual that y'all see on my screen right there, look at that. Who wrote that? It said, let me back that up. I didn't even notice this. I am so slow, man. Let me show y'all something. I didn't even catch this. Let me blow this up. Let me make it bigger. Let's read this together. Let's take a moment. We got to laugh sometime because these stories are so sad. It's really depressing. So sometimes we have to find the jovial moments. This thing says, let me say, I wasn't speaking about Jay. I was responding to a viewer. Either way, mental health issues doesn't mean you will kill your kids. I said what I said. Yeah, like I said, man, I want you guys to be able to, we got to be able to talk with each other. Yeah, definitely. Let's keep that conversation door open because that's how we grow together. This thing says, for aggravated bitch-assness after shooting his own 8-month-old in the head. Yeah, I mean, I like when people keep it that level of real because that's the type of stuff I would say. So I love that. So whoever made that, all things, what does that say? All Things Criminal on Facebook, shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Yes, jovial. Y'all probably ain't never heard that word jovial before. If not, you probably ain't heard of it in a long time. Anyway, I'll tell y'all a story about that another day. Let's talk about this idiot that y'all see on my screen. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you guys to the Wu-Tang Clan reject that y'all see on my screen right here that did not make the Killer Bees album and so many other classics. This fool is charged with something that is just beyond heinous. And yes, we're going to talk about him in a disparaging way. Yes, I'm going to talk crazy about him. Yes, because I want you guys to understand that we will not continue to stand by idly and watch things happen to our children without speaking up and saying something. We're going to put a stop to this. Columbia Police Department is currently searching for that fool that y'all see on my screen after he allegedly pulled a firearm on his own family, and this idiot shot his 8-month-old child. He shot his 8-month-old child. I'm sure y'all want to know what his name is. His name is Kobe Eugene Lloyd, who was 21 years old. And let me see if I can show you guys how his name is spelled. Kobia. I don't care if it's Kobia, Kobe, what the hell ever. I don't really care to pronounce criminals' names correctly. Kobe Eugene Lloyd Jr. It's just easier for me to say. He is 21 years old, and he is wanted for 4 counts of attempted first-degree murder, reckless endangerment, and aggravated child endangerment following an armed confrontation that occurred on Saturday. And I'm going to tell you guys, they didn't give very much details, but these details might shock y'all to the core. So brace yourselves, okay? This shooting took place during an altercation that occurred at approximately 3:30 p.m. in the parking lot of Hallmark Apartments on 400 Hallmark Drive in Columbia. The police department indicates a preliminary investigation has determined that Lloyd, that guy, was involved in the altercation with an unidentified female who was 22 years old. Why they give us the age, tell us it's a female, and don't tell us who it is beyond me. But it's described by police as the mother of his children, the baby mama that is going to remain unnamed, and we can't even get the child's name. It's just weird how they do that. Nonetheless, police said during the altercation, Lloyd brandished a weapon and fired 1 round from a handgun into the vehicle occupied by the female and their 3 children. 3 children ages 2, 1, and 8 months old. A 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, and an 8-month-old. Back back-to-back pregnancies with a damn fool, a thug. He is a thug, and I want y'all to remember that thug is not a color, thug is an action. Can y'all write that in the chat? That's going to be another one of our new hashtags. Thug is not a color, it is an action. Yes? Okay. The child was struck in the head. The 8-month-old baby was struck in the head. They were engaged in a verbal altercation, and she attempted to leave in the vehicle with the kids. Lloyd climbed on top of the vehicle and fired a round through the roof of the vehicle, according to Lieutenant Jeremy Haywood. He told the news. The child was transported to Maury Regional Medical Center by the mother and then flown to Vanderbilt Children's Hospital in Nashville with a Life Flight helicopter. Police said that Lloyd also fled the scene, so he ran like a bitch after the shot was fired. As she, the mother, left the scene, she was unaware that the child had actually been hit, because I'm sure that was probably real traumatizing. We got a call once she realized the child had been struck as she was on the way to the hospital. The child is currently in critical but stable condition. Let me repeat that. The child is currently in critical but stable condition. Please, if y'all heard what I just said, put a prayer hands up in the chat, because that is a blessing from the man above, and I hope that this child pulls through, because this is so messed up. The department communicates that detectives are aggressively following up on any leads which may find Lloyd being located and taken into custody. But let me tell y'all a little something for those who may not know. This ain't DJ's Just Jay first time around the block, and there's one thing that I know. With this dude being a thug, and there's a lot of women out there, y'all know hood hoes love hood dick. That's one of my hashtags. Hood hoes love hood dick. And there's a good chance that this hood fool is laying up under some hood hoe, or his mama, which could potentially be a hood hoe also, for raising a hood thug. Yes, not always the case, but in this case, I'm accurate about that, okay? Let's just get that out the way. All right? Now, for that woman that probably got this fool laying up in the bed right now, knowing that this fool almost just murdered his own kid, I'm going to tell y'all, this don't apply to any women, but it only applies to the women that this applies to. These particular women are horrible individuals that will harbor a criminal and a fugitive of the law, especially when they hurt children, because children can't speak for themselves, nor can they defend themselves. And I think it makes it even worse because women give birth. Women should understand the value of life. And if you understand the value of life, then you should also understand how imperative it is that somebody that looks like this individual would value life so little that he will put all 3 of his children's life in danger the way that he did, just because him and baby mama sitting there having a damn argument. Something that they apparently have been doing for years. Couldn't work it out this time, and this fool decided to pull out a gun and start shooting. That don't sit right with me. That this man is sitting up underneath some woman, and there's a lot of ladies out there that know ladies that would do stuff like that. Y'all know y'all dude is out there selling drugs, out there on the block, out there busting guns and all of this kind of crazy stuff. And y'all just let these dudes just live up in y'all house and y'all don't say nothing? You know what that means to me? Those individual people don't want things to get better, and things suck in the hood and in these bad areas, in these situations, because those individuals refuse to speak out and say something, because that means that they're horrible individuals themselves. And if you ask me, whoever house that they find him at, those people should face at least half of what he's facing. Let me say that again, because I know I just threw a fastball at you. I'm going to say it again. We got to start having more accountability in America. Let me represent this in a slower fashion. for anybody who harbors a criminal, especially those who hurt children, murder children, abuse children, kidnap children, and you are caught harboring that individual, hiding that individual, protecting for that individual, advocating for that individual. If he's facing 99 years in jail, then guess what you should be facing? 49 years in jail. If he's facing life in prison, you should get a half of whatever that is. If he faces 10 years in prison, give you 5 just for dealing with that person. And I think you can't ask people and you can't beg people. Y'all understand? Shout out to my ladies. I see y'all out there. I see people are agreeing with me. Shout out to my fellas, my responsible brothers in the chat. Y'all hear me? We have to start holding people accountable. The only way that they're going to be held accountable is if you force them. Because I don't think that they're going to do it with us asking, with us begging, right? I don't know if y'all remember. I remember listening to this Tupac interview, and he was talking about how the thug mentality starts when you see all of these people in a room and they're throwing food around, these rich people, and you knock on the door and you're like, "We are hungry, please let us in. We are hungry, please let us in." I don't know why I remember this. But then he said, you continue to see them keep throwing food around these rich people. Then you start to get a little more agitated in your tone before you kick in the door and start blasting at people and just taking the food. I use that analogy not to qualify the thug life and thug mentality. I actually use it in a different way. And here's the way I'm going to relate that. These individuals, these particular women, it's not all, it's just a handful of them who harbor these criminals, these thugs, these drug dealers, the ones who are still sleeping with them. I think sleeping with a thug should be a crime. How about that? Those individuals aren't going to change. And I think that the only way that they're going to change and the only way that you're going to discourage other women from helping dudes like this is to arrest them, kick in their dough, and put them in jail and throw the book at them. Throw a bunch of years at them for cooperating. That's the only way they're going to learn, is watch other people that are going through it. They say right now, this dude is considered to be armed and dangerous. They say they are still looking for him and seeking assistance from anybody that can help lead to his apprehension. Kobe Eugene Lloyd Jr. This is a tragic event, and we are aggressively following up with any leads in the community. He is considered to be armed and dangerous, and he advises residents not to approach the subject, but instead contact the department immediately if you see him. We do not want you to confront him. Don't put your life in jeopardy. Don't put yourself in legal jeopardy. Just call the police and let them do what they do. Those with information are encouraged to call the Criminal Investigation Division of the Columbia Police Department, 931-560-1670. Or you guys just go to ColumbiaDailyHerald.com. Y'all can get the rest of those information and those numbers on there. But let me close out by saying this. I want to put a prayer hands up in the chat, because that's at least a little bit of positive information that this child might pull through. Let me address the biological mother to that kid and the other kids. Stop dating thugs. Value yourselves. I think women have a lot of value to them. But just like with anything, you have to prove yourself. You don't just come to a job and be like, I deserve this high-paying job. Guess what you have to do? You have to prove that you are worthy to be hired for that position and be qualified. So we have to start putting ourselves in a position to be a lot more advantageous for our children. You date thugs, they create thugs, and the process repeats itself, and it constantly degrades until we just get further and further along, and then we just ruin what we consider to be our community. Okay, let's find this fool. Let's get him in. Let's get him in jail. Let's get him charged. Let's get him up out of here. He's done. All right. I'm DJ Just Jay. Put a prayer hands up in the chat for that baby, and let's hope that that baby pulls through. Okay. From my heart to yours. Thank you guys for listening to this story. I also want to let you guys know that they didn't even have any news videos up about this, which I also thought was really weird. Apparently it was not important enough that an 8-month-old baby got shot. Apparently the news didn't think it was important. But guess what? Somebody who emailed me that story thought it was important. So I want to say thank y'all to the people who actually emailed me that story. I want to give you guys a story that might make you laugh and it might make you cry. I'm going to just let the pictures roll. We're going to let this beautiful bean footage roll. Let me let y'all take a look at these photos. I'm going to let the photos roll, and then I'm going to give my thoughts about this particular story. Y'all give me a moment. Let me make sure I got the right story up. 9-year-old and 9-year-old. Yes, we got the right story up. I feel my phone vibrating. I'm going to shout you guys out here in just a moment. For those who are donating, I will shout you out. Give me just a moment here. Let me pull up my next story, okay? Give me just a second. Oh, that's on Kobe. Okay. Let's go ahead and move this over here. Okay, this one. Here's my story. Okay, I found it. Whoa! Y'all see? Wow! Let's back that up like a U-Haul truck. Hold on. Hold up. Y'all take a look at this. Whoa! Y'all see that? Somebody said jump scare. Y'all see this? Oh my goodness. Is there no more men in the world at all? Is this what we're resorting to? Wow. Y'all look at this face. Do y'all see this man's face? Thank you for that, Leanne. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't know if I saw it earlier or not. I might have missed it. But thank you for the super chat, by the way. Wow. It's just wow. Just that picture alone tells you everything. Don't let people tell you can't judge a book by its cover. Look at this fool's face. Come on, man. Come on. How are we doing on the thumbs up? I got a lot to say. 400 thumbs up. Can we get 200 more people to click that thumbs up? How quickly can we get there? 200 people. Click that thumbs up, please. Help us out. Help us out. Because this fool needs help, man. Lord have mercy. Woo-wee. Let me compose myself for a moment. Jeez. Jeez Louise. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you just gotta find a little bit of the comedy in these stories because they're so sad and they're so heartbreaking. I want to present you guys with a very interesting story about, let's back this up for a moment. This individual that y'all see right here who looked like a black Miss Potato Head. And then I want y'all to see this next picture. That woman just looked every bit as slow as molasses that's been sitting out in the snow. That girl looks slower than a dead tortoise. I mean, my goodness, look at her face. But this picture right here, man, we're going to have to pause it. I want y'all to look at this. I'm sorry to be a butthole. I got to do this. I got to do this. Before we even talk about the story, let's talk about this face. Oh my goodness. I need to blow this picture up so y'all guys can see this dude's face. Do y'all see this? Ladies and gentlemen, do y'all see this? Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you guys to Cockeye the Sailor Man. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Cockeye the Sailor Man. Look at this dude's face. It's cringy. It's gross. What is that on your face, sir? Did you tattoo a hairline, a piece of a hairline on your? What happened to the why? Why? Sir, why do you look like that? It's like you're looking here, they tell you look at the camera, you're looking over here, and then the other eye is looking over here. It's just like, look, who do I look at? Do I look over here? Do I look over there? Okay, I'm gonna turn over here. Now my eye's looking over. Why does your eye look like that, sir? Okay? You were confusing the hell out of me. I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know what you're talking about. All right? Screw y'all if y'all think you can't judge a book by its cover. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely damn ridiculous. Let me tell y'all about this story coming out of a place called San Antonio. I need y'all to come to the front of the congregation, and I need y'all to hold this big old L. This L is for San Antonio. Y'all taking this L tonight, damn it. Okay? 2 people are facing injury to a child. Charges after a 9-year-old girl was taken to the hospital. And I want y'all to understand this. A 9-year-old girl, almost 10 years old, weighed only 35 pounds. I want y'all to marinate on that for just a hot moment. A 9-year-old child weighed only 9 pounds. £9 with evidence that this 9-year-old baby was restrained at the ankles, tied up, restrained at the ankles, and whipped on her legs, according to court documents. Hashtag not my words. Investigators say that the child was hospitalized on Friday after an ambulance was called to a raggedy-looking apartment complex along Hershey Avenue for a report of a child who had passed out. The paramedics who first arrived immediately called for police when they realized that the girl appeared to be emaciated, starved. 35 pounds at 9 years old. I want y'all to think about that for a moment. It's always fat people starving somebody. Don't y'all think that's crazy? I'm a big guy. I know the value of food. I'm a big boy. So if I know the value of sustenance, why would you ever do that to a kid? They can't speak for themselves. They can't defend themselves. They can't go out and go get a job and work at 9 years old. They are defenseless. Now, according to EMS, the victim's body temperature, that baby's body temperature was so low and she appeared to be emaciated that they say that this baby almost suffered hypothermia. Think about how cold that is. The child was taken to the hospital where a doctor notated that she weighed 35 pounds instead of the average weight for a 9-year-old girl to be about 70 pounds or so. Now, she told the doctor that she was starved, handcuffed around her ankles, and she was hit with a dog leash. This 9-year-old baby, and yes, those apartments are hella raggedy. This 9-year-old baby was beat with a dog leash by her mother and her mother's boyfriend. That is the biological mother and the boyfriend. Can we get a hashtag mom's boyfriend in the chat? Because again, these mothers continue to put their children in these horrible situations. What update did I miss? I might have missed it. What update did I miss? Repost it, please, somebody. Yeah, Dre, it's been cold as hell out here in Texas. It got all the way down to 10 degrees. Matter of fact, I think actually Sunday or Saturday, I don't remember which day, it was like 5 degrees. It got real cold. It was like crazy cold. What was the update? Somebody please tag my name, the AFC podcast. Let me know what update did I miss. Oh, the dude had been arrested in the last story? Okay, whatever the update is, I'm not sure which update you guys are talking about. Okay. All right, anyway, let's keep going. I'll keep an eye out for what y'all are typing in the chat. For now, let's go ahead and keep going. Oh, the update on the Tennessee dude, he got caught. Okay, thank y'all. Thank y'all for telling me that. That's why we got the live chat. So let me say that again. Mods, is there a merch for this channel? Yes, it is. So Ramarty, the link is in the description box. So if you'll just expand that box down there at the bottom where the Cash App and PayPal link is, you will see the merch link for the t-shirts. So yes, you can check all of those things there. My other channel is in there. My email address is in there too. Everything in every video is always in that description box. So yeah, thank you for asking. The doctor told police that there did appear to be evidence of restraint marks on the victim's ankles and marks on her legs that looked to be whip marks. Pictures were taken at the hospital show the little girl is extremely emaciated. Her bones, especially at her joints, are very pronounced. You can see her actual joints. All of the victim's ribs, especially on her back, were visible. The victim has also visible injuries all over her body. The doctors told officers the child was lucky to have survived this thing that she was put through. When police spoke to the victim's mother and mom's boyfriend, identified in court papers as LaKendra Williams. That's LaKendra Williams, who looks like a shaved potato. And her boyfriend, see if I can get his picture up here. Oh my goodness. Every time I see that picture, I'm just like, I want to push my eyeball back into my face. That is Cockeye the Sailor Man himself. His name is Walter Hawthorne, aka Cockeye the Sailor Man. And they claim that the little girl was starving her own self. They say that the little girl starved herself. How is that even They always blame it on the kids. Have y'all noticed that? They always try to point the finger back at the kids. They say that the little girl was starving herself, while they both claim that they tried to get her into treatment. Williams and Hawthorne admitted that they had never taken the child to a doctor, never taken her to a pediatrician since before the pandemic began. A child safety advocate says that the child was saved just in the nick of time and she could have easily have died. She said the pandemic, along with kids not physically attending school on campus, is leading to more cases of child abuse. The only individuals sometimes other than the family that will lay eyes on them are the counselors and our teachers, are those coaches and those mandated reporters, said Yolanda Valenzuela, CEO of Alamo City Consultants. So she's an advocate, just to let you guys know. Those are the #1 reporters. William and Hawthorne are currently charged with injury to a child. Why are they not charged with attempted murder? Why are they not facing more severe charges? I don't know. Maybe more charges will come down the pipeline. We'll just have to see. But if you suspect somebody is abusing a child, you can make an anonymous tip phone call to the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services by calling 800-252-5400. If you see something, please say something. Let me give you guys the fair usage and let you guys listen to the couple of news videos that were out there. Let me scroll down just a little bit. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Here we go. The only news video I got, just one video. Here we go.
A woman and her boyfriend are in jail tonight, arrested on charges of serious bodily injury to a child.
This after EMS finds.
I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. I'll try to turn it up.
A woman and her boyfriend are in jail tonight, arrested on. A woman and her boyfriend are in jail tonight, arrested on charges of serious bodily injury to a child.
This after EMS found a 9-year-old relative unconscious on Thursday at an apartment complex north of downtown.
Eyewitness News reporter Vanessa Croy is live at police headquarters. Vanessa, the little girl was found malnourished and a victim of severe abuse.
Well, Deb and Aaron, that's right. A police affidavit describes the horrific abuse that little girl had to endure. Police say when they found her, she weighed just over 35 pounds. Doctors say that's the average weight of a 3 or 4-year-old child, not a 9-year-old. And we do want to warn our viewers, the details of this case are disturbing. Now, according to that police affidavit, EMS responded to the Blanco apartments in the Beacon Hill area after they say LaKendra Williams called 911 saying the child was unconscious. When EMS crews arrived, they found the girl to be extremely emaciated and called police saying they believe the girl was a victim of neglect. The girl was taken to the hospital where she told doctors about the abuse. And according to investigators, the child said Williams and Williams's boyfriend, Walter Hawthorne, were hitting her with a dog leash until she passed out. The girl said Williams and Hawthorne had handcuffed her ankles and repeatedly punched and kicked her. She also told investigators she was starved. A doctor said the girl's temperature was so low she was on the verge of hypothermia. According to that affidavit, Williams told police the child was suicidal and often picked and scratched at her skin and had quit eating 2 weeks ago. Authorities say Hawthorne told officers the girl was evil and was just trying to get Williams in trouble. 30-year-old Williams and 34-year-old Hawthorne were both arrested and charged with serious bodily injury to a child by omission. Investigators say Williams said she was trying to get the child into a treatment center, but both of them admitted they hadn't even thought about taking the child to a doctor. Their bond was set at $100,000 each. And Deb and Aaron, if it couldn't get any worse, the child tested positive for COVID-19 when she was at the hospital. We don't have any word on her condition tonight, but doctors say she's just lucky to have survived. Reporting live downtown, Vanessa Croy, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.
I got to give a shout out in the chat to the person that said, we need to bring back eye for an eye. Or do we need to bring back eye for a cockeye? Cockeye the Sailor Man. Oh my goodness, boy. I mean, I know you shouldn't really just go in on people, but these are two unattractive individuals. My goodness. Matter of fact, look, I know I might be wrong for saying this, but I just think, in my personal, humble opinion, that when you're a certain level of ugly, I don't think you should be allowed to be a parent. Is that wrong of me to say that? Like if the threshold of ugly is way up here and you're like way up there, like you're like scraping the ceiling, you might not be a parent, man. You shouldn't be a parent. Like, I don't know. That might be wrong of me to say that. But look, there have got to be more men on planet Earth. You could have gotten anybody else. This woman could have gotten anybody else besides this individual. This was the only man that was available. The only man. Just damn. That is just hard. He is hard to look at. Real hard to look at, man. I don't understand how you even take this seriously. But we continue to keep putting our children around thugs. These mothers continue, like I said, hood hoes love hood dick. I don't think it's more relevant than it is right now. You live by the thug, you die by the thug. Stupid is a stupid thugs. Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. Hashtag TTO and hashtag TTT definitely applies here. And these people don't need jail time. Let me say that real clear. These people don't need jail time. They need hell time. There's a special place in hell for these two individuals. I mean, that dude literally looks like, like Satan gave birth to him. That is one ridiculous looking individual. But I'm going to tell y'all something. It don't matter how ugly you are, but what do matter is the way that you behave. Okay? And the way that they treated this child was inexcusable. It's criminal. It's wrong. It's the worst thing that you could possibly be put through is to be starved and to be beaten. You already don't have no energy. You're already scared. Can y'all imagine what this little girl was going through at 9 years old? You are very aware at 9 years old of life and what's going on around you. And I cannot explain this little girl's psyche, how messed up that this little girl probably is on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, on a mental level, on a physical level. What they did to this little girl, like, just nothing on earth deserves that. This baby couldn't speak for herself, and clearly she was not able to defend herself against the tyranny of her caretakers. And for that, I hope that they get life in prison, and I hope that this little girl can get all the help that she needs, get into a safe, productive home, and I hope that this baby can grow up and become something great. And for that, I ask you guys to please put a prayer hands up, put a heart emoji, put some love in the chat. You know, just show some love in the chat for that little girl, because like I say, she at least survived, and that's more than I can say for most of the kids in our stories, okay? And for that, that's at least a little bit of a blessing, a little bit of good news in so many of these dismal stories, okay? Thank you guys so much for listening to this particular story. I'm DJ Just Jay with the AFC. That means we advocate for children first. I got to get these people off my screen, man, before I say some more ugly things. Wow. Okay, guys, I have one more story to give you guys, and thank you guys. I know it's really late at night. I got a lot of stuff to do in the morning, so I want to thank all of you guys here. We have almost 700 people here, which is good. We're pretty close to what we average, and I'm, like I said, I'm very honored to even have an audience of people that understand, that support these stories, and continue to come back to find out what's going on, so that way we can actually make a difference, okay? So let me say thank you to a couple of people real quick. Thank you for those who clicked the thumbs up, which is very easy to do. 468 thumbs up. We got 663 people. If a couple of more people who are currently watching right now, if you have not clicked the thumbs up, if you want to contribute to our channel, that is the easiest way to do it. Click that thumbs up, okay? Let me say thank you to Nayla and Cash App. Nayla, if you're listening, said, I love what you're doing for these babies. So Nayla, thank you so much for your donation by way of the Cash App. Tanea is in the chat, and Tanea's been around for a while also, and said, from me and my mom. So Yvonne, if you're listening, so Yvonne and Tanea, I want to say thank you, ladies, very much. Let me also say thank you to Mary Avery, if you're listening. I did get your PayPal, and she said, thank you for all that you do. And I know it's not a lot of money, but I hope to do better, do more next time. I love what you're doing. Please keep doing these great videos. And I'm going to tell you, what you sent is not only amazing, but I can thank you so much for finding it in your heart and in your budget. So thank you for that. Don't ever think what you send is not enough, because I promise it always helps, and it helps us to be able to just come right in, do the research, spend the time for us to continue to build this platform and hopefully become something great one day, okay? And I think that we're building that together. We're building a community together, okay? So thank you very much. Let me give you guys our very last story of the evening. This story is no less heart-wrenching, so I want you guys to prepare yourselves for what you are about to hear. Let me go ahead and put these pictures on the screen for you. Looks can be deceiving, and let me tell you guys something. See if I can get both of their pictures up here. I don't know if I can get them both at the same time. Right here. Both of these individuals look like normal young kids, but I'm going to tell y'all, looks can be very, very, very deceiving. And what they have done, I don't think that this is forgivable. I don't think I can ever forgive somebody for doing what they did. Let me explain what I mean. Let me put this video on mute just for a second in case it starts playing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you guys for listening to our stories with an open mind and an open heart. And I'm going to tell you guys, don't let the smooth taste fool you. These look like normal individuals for the most part, but I'm going to tell y'all, these are demons. And I'm going to explain to you why I call them demons. I take a very harsh stance against people who hurt our children and hurt our babies, especially those who can't speak for themselves and those who can't defend themselves. This comes out of a place called Escambia County, Florida. So Florida takes the L today. Again. Not only was one person charged, which was this woman that you see here on the left-hand side of my screen, who is the mother in this situation, but a second person has been arrested, who was mom's boyfriend on the right-hand side of my screen. And a second person has been charged after 3 children were left at home, and these children were locked inside of a room inside of that house. I'm going to give you guys some details that are going to really, really break your heart, but nothing is worse than what these children had to go through. The least we could do is listen to these babies' story, okay? The Escambia County Sheriff's Office, the ECSO, arrested the mother, 23-year-old Fayana Hickson, which is spelled Fayyonna, Fayana Hickson. She's 23 years old, that broad. Her boyfriend is, I think he is 25 years old. Let me see if, I don't know if I saved a picture of his age. Let me see if I did. I'm not sure if I did. Y'all bear with me just a moment. Excuse me. He's 30. He's 30 years old. So mom is 23. Boyfriend is 30 years old. Not that it even matters, but nonetheless, the boyfriend's name, let me see if I can get his face back up here. This guy is 30-year-old Christian Parson, which is spelled Parson, and are charged with 3 counts of child neglect. On December the 30th, sheriff deputies say they went to an apartment where they found an infant baby dropping toys out of a broken window on the 2nd floor of this apartment building. The ECSO says that they didn't get an answer at the door when they went to knock on the door, so a deputy climbed through the window. Officials say that they found not 1, not 2, but 3 little children locked inside of a room. The way that they locked this door, they locked this door with cables. As you guys can see, you'll see in the screenshot here in just a moment. Let me see if I can get that up. Let's see if I have that. By means of a cell phone charging cable. So they tied the door up so these kids couldn't get out. It turns out that one of the children used one of their toys to break the bedroom window. So thank goodness that one of these kids was brave enough, was smart enough to break a window. That is so awesome, and I'm so happy to hear that. Deputies say that the children were found sitting, brace yourselves, in their own feces. That's how long these children were left there. They were sitting in their own feces. 2 of the malnourished dogs were in cages. The Department of Children and Family Services took all 3 kids. Both suspects are in the Escambia County Jail on $300,000 bonds. Now, in the original story, a Pensacola man accused of leaving 3 children in deplorable conditions was arrested on Thursday. Christian Hakeem Parson, 30 years old, is charged with child neglect and marijuana possession. An Escambia County Sheriff's Office arrest report says deputies responded to an apartment in the Escambia County on December the 30th to the address is redacted in the report. When they arrived, they found a young infant reaching out of a broken bedroom window. Nobody answered the door when knocking, according to the deputy, so the deputy entered the home through the window. Deputies found 3 children had been locked inside of a bedroom with a charging cable, according to a report. Deputies found the children in the corner of the bedroom wearing only diapers, sitting in their own feces, their own bodily waste. Deputies said that the cord was wrapped around the door handle and attached to another door handle, making it impossible for the children to get out. Inside a separate bedroom, deputies also found 2 malnourished dogs covered in fleas and also sitting in their own feces. Deputies say that they found mail belonging to Parson in the home, along with 550 grams of marijuana. Parsons was arrested Thursday after an investigation. He is being held in the Escambia jail on a $305,000 bond. The children are currently in the custody of another family member. Animal Control took possession of the dogs. I honestly don't even know how you explain this. If you ask me, if these people are that stupid enough to do this to these children, then if you ask me, there is no reason that they need to be in our society anymore. This was not a mistake. This was intentional. It was callous. It was dumb. It was dangerous. And for that, I think they need life in prison. But let me know what you guys think. I'm going to give you guys the fair usage and let you listen to the couple of news videos that we were able to find. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Oh, I almost forgot. If you guys are listening, please click that thumbs up. It'll help share the stream. Do me a favor, just look down just for a moment and please click that thumbs up. It helps me out quite a bit, helps the channel, okay? Here we go. Let's get it.
A Pensacola man has been arrested yesterday, in fact, and charged with child neglect after 3 children were found in deplorable conditions. WKRG.com mobile journalist Daniel Smithson has more on the case.
Yeah, Roseanne, deputies say the children were locked inside of a bedroom and were all alone for hours.
An Escambia County Sheriff's Office arrest report says on December 30th, deputies arrived at the home of 30-year-old Christian Parson. Parson wasn't there, according to deputies, nor were any other adults. Deputies say they found 3 children inside of the home wearing only diapers and sitting in their own feces. The children had been locked inside of a room. A cell phone charger tied between 2 doors was used to keep it shut, according to deputies. In another room, deputies say 2 malnourished dogs were found inside of a cage covered in fleas. Deputies say the home reeked of urine and feces as it was spread on some of the home's walls. The report says 550 grams of marijuana were found inside of the home, leading to an additional drug charge. Deputies say the children were placed into the custody of another family member and the dogs were taken by Animal Control.
Now Parson is being held in the Escambia County Jail on a $305,000 bond. Reporting live in Pensacola, I'm Daniel Smithson, WKRG News 5.
New at 6, a second person has been charged after 3 children were left home alone, locked inside a room. This is an update to a story we reported late last week. Cody Long has more on the new developments from Pensacola.
The sheriff's office has now arrested a woman in this case, 23-year-old Fayana Hickson. She and Christian Parson are charged with 3 counts of child neglect. On December 30th, sheriff's deputies went to an apartment. They found an infant dropping toys out of a broken window on the 2nd floor. They didn't get an answer at the door, so a deputy climbed through the window. Officials say they found 3 children locked in a room with cables tied on the outside so they couldn't get out. It turns out one of the children used a toy to break the bedroom window. Deputies say the children were found sitting in their own feces, as were 2 malnourished dogs in cages. The Department of Children and Families took the 3 kids, and both suspects are in the Escambia County Jail, each with a $300,000 bond. In Pensacola, Cody Long, WKRG News 5.
Let me go ahead and give you guys my closing thoughts about this story. I don't really have a lot to say about this because what I got to say is really simple and it's really short. These people do not deserve to be in our society anymore at all. I think they should be done. That should be a wrap. For this, as a matter of fact, for this woman to be the so-called mother, "23 years old, and you got 3 kids, and y'all live in squalor. Not 1 kid. You didn't realize you was broke before you didn't have no kids. Then you have these children only for the benefits that you can collect from these kids. Can we get a hashtag babies for benefits? That is our hashtag. If you use this hashtag, please give me credit for using this hashtag. That is our thing here at the AFC. The only reason why she continued to keep having kid after kid after kid after kid, because mom was getting something for it, whether it be housing, whether it be food stamps, whether it be Section 8, whether it be car vouchers, whether it was for WIC, whether it was for Medicare, Medicaid, whatever the hell it is, whether it was for child support, or whether it was just to have mental, spiritual, and physical control over a man. Whatever it is, that was the only reason that somebody at 23 years old would have 3 damn kids and no man. Because that's the boyfriend. I'm not even sure if that's the father of any of these kids. And they said a toddler broke through the window. That means these kids had to have been very small. I want y'all to understand that. Think about it for a moment, because I know that they did not mention the age, but let's just use a little cognitive awareness. I hope I use that term right, because I could be wrong. Let's use a little bit of cognitive awareness and realize that these kids had to have been so small that they physically couldn't get out, and they mentally really couldn't figure out what else to do. So one of the children, being a toddler, had the wherewithal to break a window and start throwing stuff out of the window in a desperate plea for help. And I'm thankful that somehow the man up above, if y'all believe in a higher power, gave this baby whatever he gave it inside of it to save not only himself, but his siblings. That baby is a hero, and I'm thankful that that baby was able to do that, and these officers were able to act so quickly, because they didn't know. Too many times we're so quick to point the finger at the police, but we always call on the police asking them to do a job. We don't want to pay them to do the job. I don't know how many of y'all go to work. That still makes me mad to this day that they talk about defunding the police, but you want the police to do a job, but you don't want to pay them to do the job. That's stupid, by the way. But let's move on past that. But they were able to jump into action and save these kids from the tyranny of their caretakers, being the biological mother and mom's weak-ass boyfriend. These children deserve so much better. And I pray and I hope that somebody out there will give these children a better life and give them a chance. Because with these two idiots, these kids did not stand a chance. Okay? So I'm thankful. I want you guys to notate in your minds that this is a positive story. Because the children lived. They survived this horror story. Okay? So put a prayer hands up in the chat. Thank all of you guys so much for listening with an open mind and an open heart. Give these two fools life in prison. We will not continue to stand by and let people keep getting away with ruining our children. That's got to end. I'm DJ Just J, where we're the AFC, and we stand against people who only use children for the benefits they can collect from these kids. Hashtag babies for benefits. That's our thing. All right? From my heart to yours, I love you guys. Y'all have a blessed day. Have a blessed night. We'll see you guys on our next stream, okay? Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, that ends our stream. If you guys have not subscribed to the AFC channel, if that button down there is red, please click it. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to know what the little bell icon is that pops up when you do that, it's asking, do you want to get notifications? So if you want to know every time we go live, make sure you turn on all notifications. It will always let you know, as long as you don't have it disabled on your phone for YouTube. So don't disable that. You have to have it enabled in order to get the notifications, okay? So just think about that. But turn that on, and it'll always let you know when we go live. If you need even more help than that, send me an email at theafcmatters@gmail.com, and I can actually add you guys to our email list. Just put a couple of sentences in there and say, hey, add me to the email list. I want to know about every single live. I'll let you know about every single live. If you guys send me any stories, don't send me anything on YouTube. Out of respect, please only send me the news website link, and please make sure it's a story from this year. So if you're sending me something from older years, from 2017, 2015, 2009, I'm going to probably skip by those things because we got a lot of stuff that's going on right now, and we can make an impact right now. So let's try to keep it about these stories. Also, if you guys email me and you have something to say, please keep it to a couple of sentences. I keep trying to tell y'all, I'm not the brightest crayon in the box. My comprehension skills aren't very high. So don't send me a long email. Don't send me essays because I cannot read them. I can't do it. So keep them short, maybe 1 or 2 sentences, and then I can actually get you guys a response, okay? But thank y'all for being understanding. Thank you for being patient. Thank you to all of you guys who donate, and I promise you guys we will see you guys on the next stream. And thank you to everybody who's on Patreon. I didn't shout you out tonight, so I'm going to shout you out right now. To everybody who's on Patreon, they donate 1 time a month, every single month. Thank you so much. You said, where is your shout out? What is your name in Cash App? Bis Lakers 824. What name did you donate under the Cash App so I could definitely shout you out? So let me see if I can find you. I know you're about 30 seconds behind me. So I'll give you a moment, but let me know what your chat or what name you donated under. So I will tell you what came in tonight. Mashika, Jimmy D, Kinshasa, Pretty Poo Poo, Not Your Average Social Worker, Illicit Deeds, Kimberly, Jimmy D again, Tanea, and Nayla. Which name did you donate under? Because I pretty much know all of these names. So let me know. I'd be more than happy to shout you out and show you some love. And I want to make sure and identify you. Is that what the cash, let me see. Is that what the Cash App's for? People just send donations by way of the Cash App. It's just another means. We also have Venmo available as well. Just whatever people want to contribute to the channel, it gives them the opportunity to show love and show support for the channel. But that's what all of those links in the description box are for. Just so you know, I don't know if you knew that or not, but I think you've actually donated before, but maybe you weren't even talking to me. So maybe I'm jumping in your business. So I apologize if you weren't talking to me. But I'm waiting for Miss Lakers to answer that question, what name did you donate under? You donated under Lisa and Cash App. So if you click the link in the description box, it should take you directly to my page. If you typed it in and you sent it somewhere else, then it probably did not get to me. So let me take a look again. Let me make sure. I'm going to verify. Let me look one more time. I know who Tanea is. I know who Jimmy D is. I see Kimberly. I know Illicit Deeds. Not your average everyday, not your average social worker. Pretty Poo Poo. I know who that is because they have a wrench in the chat. Kinshasa. I know who she is. And Mashika. I know who she is. Oh, okay. I got you, Miss KK. You're all right. You're all right, sweetheart. So, Lisa, even going back to a couple of days ago, I don't have anything from Elisa. I do not have any donations from Elisa in Cash App. You could be trolling, but I don't know that to be a fact. But like I said, if you want to contribute, cool. If you don't believe in what we're trying to do, if you don't want to donate, that is totally your prerogative, and I understand. But that's why we have a community of people who do understand what we're doing and what they're contributing for. And like I say, I thank all of you guys who were able to do that. We have 3 new channel members tonight, and I want to say thank you to those who joined the channel membership because that counts as well. And I think we're going to call it a night. Y'all show some love to our sponsors. Y'all have a great night. Peace.
Hey there, listeners. Are you looking for authentic design from brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Coach, Gucci, Michael Kors, and so much more at a price that you can actually afford? Well, let me introduce you to Nora's Authentic Designer handbags, shoes, and accessories, where we have designs to meet all of your needs. All items are 100% authentic, brand new, and being sold at prices you don't want to miss out on. Find us on Tradesy.com, at Nora's 915, or email us at norasauthenticdesign@gmail.com. Hey there, listeners. Are you looking for authentic design from brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Coach, Gucci, Michael Kors, and so much more at a price that you can actually afford? Well, let me introduce you to Nora's Authentic Designer handbags, shoes, and accessories, where we have designs to meet all of your needs. All items are 100% authentic, brand new, and being sold at prices you don't want to miss out on. Find us today on Tradesy.com at Nora's 915, or email us at norasauthenticdesign@gmail.com.
Hello listeners, come mask up with Keyline Designs, where you reap what we sow. We offer essential handcrafted face masks made with 100% cotton, equipped with a built-in filter and a slot for refillable filters. Our masks have many uses like riding motorcycles, ATVs, while out in public places, outside exercising, lawn and gardening, and helps prevent the spread of germs. We offer bling, sports logos, monograms, many assorted fabrics and colors. We make child-sized masks starting at the age of 2. Come join us today for the launch of our new website at keylinedesigns.com. Please be sure to like and follow our page on Facebook. Our links can be found in the description box of this video. Thank you.